Okay, so I can use the terminology that I used. You just don't have to respond to it. Is that how this is going to work? I mean, that H word that I said. You know what I'm talking about when you showed me that. Okay. 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Robert and Erin, it's 837. State Senator Barrow Peacock is here.
Good morning.
How are you?
It's good to be back home. I got home at 10:30 last night.
Yeah.
I took my boys to school this morning, and that's a very nice thing to be able to take.
What you going to do the rest of the day? Lay low, a little golf?
I went by the downtown post office, picked up my mail, and I've got work to do.
Oh, man.
Bills, believe it or not.
Speaking of bills.
Yeah.
Speaking of bills. So the deal is done. $99 million from the rainy day fund. Will go to pay down the state debt, what John Bell called the budget hole, that $300 million budget hole. The rest is going to be cuts. I asked Mr. John a little while ago, is this morning, did John Bell get the best of the deal? You voted no, by the way.
I voted no, and the state's in a recession. When you listen to revenue estimating, the economists will tell you we have 26,000 fewer jobs in the state of Louisiana than we did at our high water mark. Our income tax, our sales tax revenue is down. Government has to shrink when our economy is shrinking. There are only two areas of the state that are growing in the state. Lake Charles, which is obvious. They have an economic boom going, justified. And Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge is growing. Shreveport, Bossier, Lafayette, Houma, Thibodaux, we're in a recession. The rural areas of our state are in a recession. Government needs to cut back too.
Is John Bell gloating this morning? Should he? Is he spiking the football?
John Bell had a good session. He got $99 million. They're also using almost $12 million in attrition money, so that's sort of funny money. That's really one of the things which I didn't like in this. And also there's money in there for bond redemption. So this is all one-time money. At 9 o'clock today, joint budget meets. The governor presents his new budget for the upcoming year. Mm-hmm. Guess what? We have a deeper hole.
Yeah, it's going to be more. And he has to do some cuts this time around. Most of the lawmakers we're talking to are saying we're not going to feel these cuts. You agree?
I think a lot of these cuts, they knew this was coming. They made prepared. I don't think you're going to feel these. I think what you're setting yourselves up and then the legislature is we're going into a session that what can be done. You can say the word.
Taxes. Yes.
Bingo. And I think that's really what this is.
So pardon me. So this is part of the John Bell chess game, and I don't mean that negatively.
I think he's
looking macro here.
The governor's a smart man. He went to West Point. He knows how to play the political game. He has set us up in a way that I think that the taxes are coming. There's a reform package. I did hear Senator Senator Morrell talk about a $1.2 billion hole. Well, we're a little bit deeper because we're using what? One-time money.
Wow. Hang on just a second. State Senator Barrow Peacock, more is on the way. 842, 1017 FM, 710
Keel.
Keel, now I'll know it when I hear it.
Mm-hmm. Joined by Senator Barrow Peacock in the studio this morning, just back from the special session. Lawmakers agreed to use $99 million from the rainy day fund and cut the remainder. My worry is, Senator Peacock, you and Senator Milkovich, two senators from our area who voted against the governor, only a handful did. My worry is this going to cost our area down the road in terms of the governor saying, do I want to work on this Jimmy Davis Bridge project or on this project in Baton Rouge where the senator supported me? Does that worry you? Does it concern you?
I would hope not. I mean, I know the governor's committed to the Jimmy Davis Bridge. I listened to KEEL, I think this morning, he had Sean Wilson on talking about the Jimmy Davis Bridge. So there's a commitment from the governor to complete that bridge.
You think the possible retribution to which Erin refers is in Erin's head?
Well, no, I think it can happen. and look, I'm not naive. I know what politics, but I have to represent the people of Shreveport Bossier first and foremost. And, that is who elected me. I didn't answer to Bobby Jindal. I don't answer to John Bell Edwards. I answer to the people of Shreveport Bossier. And do they want a big income tax increase? I would say
having voted no, Do you think that, as did Mr. Alan Seaball when we talked to him yesterday, do you think that more cuts could have come from Health and Human Services?
Yeah, the Department of Health has grown by $2 billion.
What is it? It's $13 billion.
It's $11.9 billion. It has gone up not only in federal money, but in state general fund money over the past year. And, when you see these cuts last year after a special session, they found $70 million in savings because the flu season wasn't that bad. Now, when you think about that, you've got an $11.9 billion budget in the Department of Health. If you can move that percentage, you start moving a half percentage around on that, that's big money, and it's big money to the state.
What about our local medical complex here? Will it feel any of these cuts? What's going to happen there? A lot of concern there. I was at a meeting over there a couple of weeks ago. They're real worried.
Well, the public-private partnerships took a 0.99% cut. That for all the partnerships across the state, that was $3.7 million in cuts. That includes Our Lady of the Lake. That includes here in Shreveport and Monroe. So there's going to be some, but I think that there are no cuts to higher ed. In this
Or
list.
K through 12.
Or K through 12.
You
Okay.
brought a document with you, and we had talked with Dodie Horton, state representative, earlier this morning, and she talked about the reason, the tipping point for her to vote in favor was, and again, this is tough for me to grasp, because what the term you used?
Moron.
Fiscal moron.
Yeah.
And what she explained was that there's this law that for the last 20 years, the state should have been setting aside funds to pay down our bond debt, and nobody was doing it. And when it was pointed out to Treasurer Kennedy, John Kennedy, now Senator Kennedy, he went, what? Okay, maybe we should start doing that if you give me a resolution. Miss Dodie said the way I understood it, what got her to go along with that was the governor's promise to back that resolution, to follow the law, to take that money and apply it the way it is allocated legally to do.
Right.
But you brought this thing in that says something else. Explain to me.
And I support Speaker Barrow's resolution, HCR 1, and it's basically to do as you just described. It was amended on the Senate floor, and the title, instead of said begin procedures, it says now begin developing a procedure. Now you tell me how developing can take a long time.
Mr. Barra has gone behind the backs of the House of Representatives.
No, I do not believe that's the case at all. And this might move forward, but I do worry when
Pardon me,
lawyers
correct me if I'm
around.
Okay. To me, that is saying, like Erin saying to her kids, "I'll take you to the mall," and then an hour later saying, "We'll talk about going to the mall." There's a big difference.
I think this in time will tell. We'll see now the posturing between the Division of Administration and the Treasurer's Office, and see if this actually starts to be moved, and are we able to use the $94 million in the budget that's going to start July 1, or do they say, well, we're still developing the procedure?
The monies that are legally allocated to pay down the debt.
Well, all if you read our Constitution, all of these funds are pledged, are the first dollar to go to pay down our debt.
But I guess my question is the rewording of that opening line in this measure,
that to me,
is that purposely done to circumvent what the governor had promised to do?
I think there's a reason why that language was put there.
Yeah,
and
you
I
wouldn't do that. Yeah.
In time. We'll find out.
So John Bell now is thinking about driving Erin's kids to the mall.
Good point.
Thank you.
Oh boy, it's a mess. And now we move into the fiscal session where y'all can raise some more taxes. I'm so excited.
She didn't mean you.
Thank you. But I do think we now have used one-time money. The budget will be presented today at 9 o'clock in joint budget, and we have a deeper hole to start from because we used one-time money to solve this. And it's not just the $99 million.
But you do think that John Bell's wanting the $99 million to take more from the rainy day fund is part of a big picture plan to tell people down the line, look, see, we're going to have to raise taxes to replace that $99 million.
When it gets so big and the cuts are so substantial, you almost get backed into that corner. We can reform government, but you have to make the cuts informed and use that scalpel, but you can make a cut 3 to 5% a year. You can make those, but if you do like they did last year when we went in and they said higher ed will be cut 23%, that's not possible. And I'm afraid we're getting into that corner again.
Gonna be fun, Senator
No,
Barrow
it's not
Peacock.
going to be fun, but I know
can't
what you
wait.
mean. Yeah, me
Thanks
too.
for coming in. We really
Well,
appreciate it.
thank you. It's good to be back home.